we're going to do a tier list on his muscle groups. All right, looking at the chest, we have a more medium to maybe even getting closer to that low insert type chest. He's got the shorter abdomen, and he also has this cool little detail right here where it's a split between some of the fibers. So I think that chest could honestly be an S tier chest if you put enough mass on it. We're going to call it A tier for now. Looking at the kind of the abdominals, he's definitely got some abdominal thickness. The obliques are a little bit thinner, but I feel like that's fine given that he has a shorter torso. The serratus is very thick, and I tend to count the serratus kind of along with the obliques. The abs, I'm going to say that they're C tier. I want them to be a lot thicker. I'm going to call the obliques B tier, and they're relatively streamlined and narrow, so they're not going to give him too much of a blocky look, and he can't have super thick obliques if he has a little bit higher insert lats, but it's the serratus that I think pull up those obliques to kind of the next level, because any arms overhead pose, this thing will pop out and be absolutely jacked on him. Looking at the triceps, we're seeing a good amount of tricep sweep. I would say that the triceps are outpacing the biceps a little bit. Looking at the triceps, I'm going to say that it's like a B plus tier. We'll just give him A tier, and then the biceps are a little bit lower. I would say C plus tier, but we'll just give it a B. And that's just because we're looking at everything else relative. And it's because his back is so good and he has such good legs. So trying to match the arms to the legs is always going to be something that's going to be a challenge. The inserts on the forearms, they're a little bit shorter, but they are very thick. I'm going to say that those are B tier. Looking at the quads, I really like the quads. You even see the sartorius right there. You see a good amount of split. You see long muscle bellies. You see low muscle bellies. You see only higher inserts on the gastroc, but for the most part, he has more of that flared soleus. So, I mean, the legs are just solid all the way through. We're calling it quads, A tier, calves, A tier. Looking at the hamstrings are there. You see this little shadowing? That's how you know that this guy's going to have some jacked hamstrings. Yeah, we're calling the hamstrings A tier. Looking at the shoulders, they're longer insert, pretty good amount of cap. I'd probably want just a little bit more mass in the shoulders compared to the arms. I feel like the back is significantly bigger than the shoulders. So the shoulders, I'm going to say C tier. Then if we look at the lats, higher insert lats, but he has that good amount of lower back thickness overall. To me, overall, I really like the back, especially I like his upper back. I think his upper back could be S tier. I'm just going to say that the lats, they're higher insert though. We're going to say B tier. Upper back, clearly A tier, could be S tier. And then lower back, that's B tier. He's got great thickness.